we would move on to problem number 8. Savings is equal to investment. Again, the equilibrium condition in our domestic goods market is given by y is equal to CO plus C1 multiplied by y minus t plus investment plus government expenditure. For parameters and exogenous variables, the following values are given. So we have two parameters, C1 and C0. C1 is defined to be 0.8, marginal propensity to consume, and C0, our autonomous consumption, is defined to be 50, tax is defined to be 100, investment to be 50, government expenditure is defined to be 100 units. So what is the equilibrium level of income in this scenario? The goods market, the domestic goods market equilibrium condition given in this formula, and we have the values that are already given to us. So in a usual procedure, we would get rid of the bracket in the right hand side equation by multiplying C1 with y and C1 with t plus investment plus government expenditure. And then we would subtract minus C1y from both sides, which would give us y minus C1y is equal to CO minus C1t plus investment plus government expenditure. Here again, I would take y as a common factor, and I would have 1 minus C1 in bracket, and my right-hand side equation remains to be the same. And if I divide both sides by 1 minus C1, 1 minus C1, I would have my equilibrium level of income on the left-hand side, which would be given by 1 over 1 minus C1 multiplied by CO minus C1t plus investment plus government expenditure. So using the values that are given to us in the table, we can substitute the values in this formula. So we had 0.8 as marginal propensity to consume, 50 as autonomous consumption, minus 0.8 as marginal propensity to consume, multiplied by 100 for taxes, plus 50 for investment, plus 100 for government expenditure. If you do your calculation here, this would give you as 5 multiplied by 120, which would be equal to 600. So 600 is our equilibrium level of income in our scenario A. The second question in our scenario A is to calculate the level of private savings. What is financed by private savings? So for that, we would first calculate private consumption. Because we want to know what is consumed from our disposable income and what is saved from our disposable income. We have seen that our consumption is a sum of our autonomous consumption plus marginal propensity to consume multiplied by our disposable income, which is given by y minus t. And inserting the values that I have from my table, I have 50 as autonomous consumption, 0.8 as marginal propensity to consume. We have just seen that income is 600, or the equilibrium level of income is 600, minus our tax 100. So this would give me 50 plus 0.8 multiplied by 500, and if you do the calculations, we would reach to a value which says consumption is equal to 450. The second item that we have to calculate here is private savings. And as we know, our saving is given by the formula Y minus T minus consumption. So we have already seen in our previous videos or in our previous exercise session, if consumers are given a disposable income, they decide whether to consume it in a full amount or to consume a portion of it and save the rest of it. So if they decide to save the rest of it, first they would have their disposable income, which is given by Y minus T, minus what they actually consume, which is the consumption, minus C, and this formula would give us the amount of saving that consumers would undertake given the conditions. So here again, saving would be Y is 600 minus our tax is 100 minus 450, which would give us saving is equal to 500 minus 450, giving us 50 monetary units, which should be considered as private savings in the economy. The third item we want to see here is the budget deficit. From our table, we have seen that our tax is equal to 100 and our government expenditure is also equal to 100. So when we calculate the budget deficit, G minus T, which would be 100 minus 100, would be 0. And here, the government budget is balanced because we have 0. What the government is collecting in the form of tax, it is giving it out in the form of government expenditure. One concept to note here is that we have done the calculation, but there is a private saving which is amounting to 50 units. So the private savings are used to finance investment. The households would save 50 units and they get a corporate bonds worth 50 units. The government is not in need of any budget financing because it's balancing its government expenditure and tax in this time. Both of them are given as to be 100 units. So the 50 units saved by the households in our scenario, they are used to buy corporate bonds for which corporates are selling bonds, and these bonds are having a value of 50 units. To clarify this concept, in the lecture, the equation investment is equal to saving plus tax minus government expenditure is explained already, where tax minus government expenditure is considered as public savings. So if we transfer tax minus government expenditure to the left-hand side equation, we would get investment plus government minus tax is equal to saving. So investment plus the balanced budget or the government budget deficit would give us a saving. So the saving in the economy would be used either to invest in the corporations or would be used to finance the budget deficit of the government.